afternoon. I'm Ben Peterson. And I'm Lucas Koshi.
Did you know that since the start of the pandemic, 30% of restaurants have been short-staffed? 17% of those restaurants specifically need waiters and or servers. The problem is that these restaurants are short-staffed. This affects the restaurant's efficiency and ability to make money. According to BBC, the last business day in November of 2021, there were 10.56 million job openings. This just means that there's a staff shortage. Our competitors are Indeed, LinkedIn, Snagajob, and Glassdoor. They solve the problem by connecting workers or employees to employers through an app or website that allows them to find a job anywhere across the country. This is different than us because we already have employees at hand ready to connect to an employer.
So we obviously recognize this problem and we came up with a solution. Our solution is a service that provides students from a high school to restaurant owners or managers. So what we will be doing is we will be providing them with each other. The students will say when they can work, when they want to work, their available times, and the restaurants will hire them for that direct shift or whenever they need. So we have two personas that relate to our business. On the left is the restaurant owner, which that represents a restaurant owner. He is very busy on the weekends and he's short-staffed obviously, and he's not able to run his restaurant efficiently. And then on the right we have a student who has after-school activities, is in a school sport, has a very limited amount of free time, but in that very limited amount of free time, it is present on the weekends. So what we are doing is we are acting as the arrow in between them, and we are providing them with each other, and we are saying this is when they can work, and this is when they're available, and this is when you can hire them.
According to Statista, the entire staffing industry in 2021 was worth approximately $136.4 billion. This gives us our total addressable market. And since our market is more specific than just staffing in general, we took the 25,448 restaurants in all of Illinois, with 75% of them coming from the Chicago metropolitan area, and the fact that we know that 30% of all restaurants are reporting short staffing issues. So that brings our potential customers to 5,726 that could purchase a 9-month subscription from us, which gives our serviceable addressable market 51,534 units of service. And in Barrington alone, we accounted for 50 potential customers. We hope to have a 25% conversion rate, since we know that 30% of them are understaffed, which gives us a market share of 0.22%. And to market our product, we want to build 2 separate email lists for our customers. One will be a free email list we generate from conducting interviews as well as scheduling meetings with the local restaurant owners and managers. And our second email list will be a paid generated email list, so we pay approximately $150 for 150 local restaurant owners and managers' emails in the areas surrounding Barrington. And as for the users or the students, we plan to create social media pages on TikTok and Instagram because these are 2 of the most frequently used platforms by kids in our age group. So we will promote our page for free by sending out our posts to friends and family and people we know. And we will also plan on paying to promote our page on Instagram. And Instagram does a promotion of $6.70 per 1,000 impressions, which we hope to be able to market to 1,000 local high school students. And as for our channels, we are currently working on a way to get our, make a way for the customers to be able to press a button and be able to purchase and subscribe to our service. And as of right now, this is the only channel we want to focus on, since it is direct and it's easy to do. However, we are aware of the disadvantage that one channel may limit our reach, so we will continue thinking of ways in the future to get our service into the customer's hands. And what exactly is 1 unit of our service? Well, we would charge our customers $200 per month for a 9-month subscription, and the 9 months is simply because the other 3 months of the year being summer, meaning a lot of college students are able to come home and help out around those restaurants, so they may not even need our service during those 3 months. However, if they do, they can renew their subscription. And from there, our other form of revenue is a $4 hourly premium per student that we send out to work. And throughout our first testing phase, we want the restaurants to pay the students hourly wages just so that we can limit our liability and some of our SG&A expenses, such as insurance and workers' comp and things like that. However, we did talk to one of our mentors connections, Mr. Kaling, who's owned several successful restaurants, and he told us that we may actually have to take on the students as our employees eventually, simply because the more workers an establishment goes through in a year, the more paperwork there is and the more taxes they have to pay. So the extra cost may not be such a big problem to us in the future, considering that our only cost of goods sold expense right now is an estimated 3% credit card fee, which would be around $6 per month, which would give us a 97% gross margin. And in our first year, we hope to reach the 50 potential customers in Barrington and secure 13 9-month subscriptions with an estimated total revenue of $14,969. And our other goal is to keep a solid 97% gross margin.
So on screen right now are two ads that we have come up with, one ad for restaurant owners and the other ad for students. The first ad for restaurant owners, we will send out to them in an email along with our landing page. The restaurant owners will see the ad first, and it'll give them a brief description on what Staff by Students is before they click the link to get into the landing page. We'll also be handing it to them personally when we go out to meet with them. And then the ad for the students, we will be sending them through their emails we got. We got 20 students' emails from surveys that we've taken, and those students are interested in what we're doing, so we will be sending that pamphlet to them. And along with that, we will be putting them on the bulletin boards at their school and taping them to the walls, just so more students can get word about what we're doing and what Staff by Students is. Here's our landing page. The first thing that restaurant owners or managers are going to see when they enter our landing page is a brief description on what we do, just some more information about what we are and how we work and how we can work for them. And the second thing they're going to see when they scroll down is our demo video, which is our visual description on how we can help them and how we are impactful to their restaurant, how we can make their restaurant better and the students. And then scrolling even further down, restaurant owners get to see what we bring to the table. They see our value propositions and how we are easy to use, we are fast, and we are reliable to them. If they have any more questions, they can schedule a meeting through us through Calendly, and they can schedule a 15-minute time block, a 30-minute time block, or even an hour time block to ask us questions and meet us in person. The MVP that we are planning on running is a concierge MVP. And what a concierge MVP is, it's when a group of students, like us four, go out to a restaurant such as Georgino's or Plate, and we mock what our website and what our service is. So what we are going to do is us four will be going out to 1 to 2 restaurants, and we will be working for them for 1 month, and we're going to be asking for a $200 down payment and then $4 an hour for that month to be working for them. And then at the end of that 1 month, we are going to be interviewing with these managers, and we're going to ask them what they liked, what they didn't like, how we could improve. And then if they liked us and they want to stay on board with us and keep working with us, we're going to be running the same test with students. Think about 4 to 5 students for maybe a shorter bit of a time, like 3 weeks. And then at the end of those 3 weeks, we'll sit down with the managers again, ask them how they liked it with the students, what they can improve, what they like, what they didn't like. We will also be looking at senior centers and country clubs. Talking with the people we've talked to, we have found out that most of the people who work at the food courts and food service in senior centers are under 18. And those places are getting really short-staffed now due to COVID. And we will also be looking at country clubs, such as the Barrington Country Club, because a lot of students want to work there and they do need a lot of help. So we are asking for $160. 150 of that will go towards email list, and 60 of that will be paid promotions on social media, such as Instagram. You need money to put an ad on to their website.
We are staffed by students, your solution is short staff.
Because that was super. I'm curious about if you could run me through like whenever you're doing a staffing model, it's a two-sided business model, right? You have the folks you're supplying the labor to, and then you have the labor. Can you tell me a little bit about the problem that you're solving for the students?
So for the students, it's like for myself or anybody here, they want to make some money. Like they don't have a lot of free time to make that money. So like they'll have after-school activities, sports, homework. So they will be like wanting to make money, and they won't have a lot of they don't want to get a full-time job. They want to get like a serious part-time job either. So like what we're offering is like they can work for like 2 or 1 shifts on the weekends, like whenever they want to, like when they need to. And when the restaurant manager or owner is able to contact them and ask them, hey, are you able to work on this time from here to here? And they can say yes or no.
Okay, that's very clear. How are you thinking about the roles that would be available to folks that maybe, hey, it's not like they're gonna spend 40 hours a month learning the job, so there's maybe a more limited set of roles that they
Right.
can take on. What types of roles are you thinking?
So I think we were thinking of like specifically focusing on utility staff in the restaurants, which is like bussing tables, washing dishes, just general maintenance of the restaurant. And so I think what we're gonna do is like kind of implement like a training kind of program to these students, because we know like owners of restaurants. I know the owner of Neoteca. I can go in, like ask to take a video of like their general process of like washing dishes, bussing tables. I can show this video to the students, say this is what you need to do, and then they can go in and complete that task.
How many
That
restaurants,
would have been good to share with
Yeah.
us in the presentation.
excuse me, how many restaurant owners have you interviewed or talked to, and what's their feedback been with your proposal?
We've been to about 4, I think it was 5 restaurants we've talked to, and we went to the Giorgio's restaurant in the Arboretum, and we were talking to that guy, and he said that he's been struggling a lot recently with short staff, mainly because people are quitting, they don't want to work there anymore. Sometimes they'll have like a big rush of people, and then they'll quit. He also says he's losing a lot of money training these new people every 2 weeks. So he says that if we'd be able to train them, that'd be a lot easier, because when they train them, they lose maybe what we say $150 per person that they train.
Did you discuss sort of your model of how your business would work? It kind of it sounded like it was kind of email driven, or how?
So the emails is more of a marketing thing for us. We actually tried to send out our landing page to a bunch, it was a small test, so it was like 5 different restaurants that we tried to send it out to. We actually didn't end up getting any responses, just because it's more of it's kind of like a helpline for the restaurants, because we just went off what we could get from their website. So if we could get paid email lists of the actual owners or managers, then maybe they will actually be more likely to see it and click on it and be able to schedule a meeting or whatever that is. But yeah, our actual business model is it would just be us sending students out to work whenever they can and when they're available.
And then how would the restaurant owner contact you and know who would be available to find the certain slots that they're looking to fill?
So right now, it's kind of our idea is like a text blast kind of thing. So if they say, hey, I need like 2 dishwashers this Saturday from 5 to 9, we would send out a text blast to the interested students, which throughout the first testing phase is just gonna be us 4, maybe 1 to 2 extra interested students. So yeah, it'd kind of be like who's available at this time, and then we would send whoever we can.
Thank you.
Do you think there's an opportunity to, I think this is a really great idea if it can be executed, so I see a big hurdle being training, right? So
Yeah.
you're getting someone that maybe hasn't worked in a restaurant and has to get used to this particular layout and a lot of those processes, that maybe you could determine from your restaurant contacts. There's probably a lot of turnover in the restaurants where, people your age would work during the summer and then, quit because they have sports and school and everything, where they would pay a premium for former employees that would be on the schedule that don't have to be trained. And maybe that can be a more focused list and I don't know if the restaurants that you talk to would be able to, outline how many former students have worked there.
Yeah, that was actually one of our other ideas for an MVP testing phase. Right now, we were just gonna focus on the students portion because marketing to the previous waiters and stuff like that is a whole other marketing field. So we kind of just wanted to focus on who we know right now, which is the students, and be able to get that going as fast as possible. But yeah, that was definitely our idea, and for now, as the students that we're sending out, we would be, once again, like dishwashers, bussers, low level, just kind of things, and they could possibly move their current dishwashers or table bussers up to the waiter position so that they don't have to train us and we can go around and be more of use to other places as well.
From your early conversations, do you have a sense of how these restaurant owners are using some of the competitors you laid out in your first slide and what the cost structure is like for that? I'm trying to get a sense of how the model you're proposing compares to any services they might already be using.
So yeah, the manager we talked to at Giorgio's was, I think he said they used Indeed for most of their recruiting, and they said that they usually don't get someone that lasts more than 3 months from there. But, they get who they can, and it's kind of just it's really not much long-term help. For us, we're hoping to be more of long-term help since we can have a pool and we can have several different people that we can send out at once. We actually didn't talk to them about the cost structure of that though.
A related question I had that kind of tags off of something Nick was saying is maybe you could consider looking at a model where you have some sort of a referral bonus type thing, where if you're using you guys as the model, if you found over time, hey, I know a buddy, and if they come in and work a certain amount of time for this restaurant, maybe you give some sort of a small reward or gift card or something, maybe not to you guys as the founders, but as an option to just, on this premise that a lot of employers have in place to try to attract and retain talent, often the channel of people who currently work for them is a good way. You get a return person, there's a little skin in the game, it's not some completely unknown person. Just something you might want to think about doing down the road as you test this out.
Definitely.
1 minute.
I love your value add, though, of videoing the training portion, so that repetitive process can be taken on by you guys. It makes so much sense for that lower skill level of dishwasher and bussing tables, so that you can take that lift off the restaurant owner. So that is a value that I hope is going to be part of your MVP, that you're going to be filming each other so that you can use that as a marketing tool for the restaurants. But is that the kind of item that restaurant workers will be, I mean, not workers, but restaurants will be charged $200 a month. Tell me who's paying you $200 a month for the subscription?
That would be most likely the owner of the
Of the
establishment.
restaurant,
Yeah.
okay. And that's not charging the workers, that's charging the restaurant
No,
owners?
yeah, that's the restaurant.
And you may wanna, when you're talking to your restaurants, find out what their points are on the, because this is almost like an insurance policy. They're paying their premium in the
Yeah.
subscription and they're paying their deductible when they need the workers. And, you may find that they may be willing to pay a much higher per hour if they know they're getting an experienced worker on short notice. And even depending on the length of the notice, maybe even a different pricing parameter versus paying the high premium on the subscription. But I think that's a good data point for you to get, to refine your pricing.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you put up your ask chart
Um,
for MVP grant?
Press it hard.
It's,
I think you had it there.
Yeah.
It's 160.
160?
There you go.
Decision time.
I'm fine.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
We can-
Good luck, guys.
Yes.
Good.
Good luck.
Good job. Thank you, guys.